Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a leadership coach and a feng shui practitioner. Happy Thursday to my
Happy
co-host.
Thursday to you. Oh, we made it.
We did. I wish it was Friday, but I don't know why, because I
Thursday's our
don't
favorite
work.
day.
I don't work anymore. So yes, Thursday is my favorite day. It really
What are you
is.
drinking today?
Today I am drinking green tea, decaffeinated green tea. And why, you
Yes,
may
why,
ask?
Sandra? Why?
Because I am on this kick. I'm on this kick to feel better and to increase
Okay.
my energy and to heal my gut. And I've really noticed, just especially with menopause and just a little bit of weight gain. But I've done this diet before, and you and I've talked about this, like, and how you eat and stuff. It's not very far off, but it's just being very mindful of what I'm putting, more mindful of what I'm putting into my body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I notice if I eat certain foods, like if I eat garlic, or if I eat onions or tomatoes or black coffee, I'm noticing like my stomach doesn't feel good, and it never has.
Mm-hmm.
So one would ask the question, why have you been eating them, Sandra? Right?
I'll listen to your body.
Right. So I am really just being very, very intentional with what I'm putting in my body these days.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just decided this, woke up randomly on a Tuesday and said, okay, fuck it, let's go.
Which is the way it should be. You get the impulse and you act.
Yeah.
And
I
you
am.
do it all year long, not just with your diet, but anytime we get
Right.
that impulse to act.
Yeah.
It's to not go, oh, I'll wait to do this until this. Like,
Exactly.
do it. You've got that impulse for a reason.
Exactly. I had, I don't know if I said this last week, but one of the coaches that I worked with, one of the business coaches that I worked with, she said that she almost tricks her brain.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she gets an idea, no matter how like crazy it seems, no matter how unfortunate it is, if it's like, go have a shower, she will literally go have a shower.
Mm-hmm.
Even when she doesn't want to, even when she's all ready to go and she's going to teach a course, she will do it because she's convinced herself that if she doesn't, it's bad luck. Did I
Mm-hmm.
talk about this
We
last
talked
week?
about this last week. Yeah.
And so I don't believe in bad luck, but I really resonated with that. And so for the last few years, it's just like, I convinced myself that if I get an idea to do something, it's divine.
Yeah.
It's the universe telling me, so I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
listen.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, on Tuesday, it was just like, oh, you know what? You don't feel good. And you feel better when you eat this way.
Mm-hmm.
And so you should do it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, here I am.
Here you are.
Tea on
Great.
Thursdays.
Well, today I am drinking some Crown Royal salted
Mhm.
caramel. And I really had thought that I was going to be drinking tea or something like that because it's kind of chilly outside and I've got a ton of stuff to do. But, my niece Sarah had a birthday on Monday
Yeah.
and she was being a badass, sipping on some straight up whiskey that was not flavored. And I
Yeah.
had intended to go pick some of that up, but I ran out of time
Oh,
because that
but
happened.
Crown Royal is Canadian, is it not?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, we'll let it slide.
So I have my happiest half hour glass
Oh,
or
yum.
happiest hour, but I'm going to call it happiest half
Happiest.
hour.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's good.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the big ice cubes. Like they
The big
just,
ice cubes are my favorite. I really need Santa Claus to bring me this circular,
oh, yes.
what do you call it? Ice
Yeah.
cube trays.
The ice
It,
cube
he told me
trays.
they're a pain
Yeah.
in the ass, but I just think a big bowl would be really kind of cool.
They are a pain in the ass, but they are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they just seem super neat. So
Yes.
they're silicone.
Yes, that's how
Silicone.
ours are. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Super.
So, um, wow, it's back to the time of year. People freaking out about their weight.
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden it's like, shit, what am I going to wear to the Christmas party?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And I don't have any Christmas parties to go to. So this isn't why I just decided I
I'm
didn't.
not talking about you. I'm
But it is so true because people start to panic about now, right? Like
yeah,
in
yeah.
November a little
And
bit.
my question is, why aren't we doing this all year? Why aren't
Yeah.
we not panicking, but reaching for the next step all year long instead of going, I can't do that right now because I'm overweight,
Right.
or I can't do that right now because I don't have the job I want, or the house I want, or the car I want, or the lover I want. We hold ourselves back and we don't show up fully in life because
Mhm.
things aren't just as they should be or as we want them to be. And
True.
we're waiting until everything gets perfect to fucking live our life.
Yeah.
And I'm presenting to a bunch of realtors in January because they brought me in to talk about goal setting.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, that's a great time to talk about it, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. I mean, I'm going to talk about goal setting, of course,
Surprise.
but it's going to
I'm
be
gonna
why
choose
don't
badass.
right
I'm gonna choose badass and talk to you about whatever I want to talk to you about. Cool.
because mugs will be done by then. I'll bring him and hand them out.
Yeah.
But no, it's being deliberate every day. And what do we want every day? And stop using these stupid excuses to not show up in life because that's all it is. No matter
Right.
what it is that we're upset that we don't have, or sometimes we have too much of,
Yeah. Mhm.
it's just an excuse to not live. I had a lady that came in this week, and I think she's about our age. She might be a little younger, but close.
Mhm.
But she had to get on the program. She's like, I've got to lose this weight. My husband left me.
Oh.
He left me for a much more fit woman. Um, I'm disgusting. No one wants me. You know, it was
Oh.
that whole, and
Yeah.
I am not worthy of love until I get this weight off of me. And it broke my heart because I
Yeah.
don't know her situation. I don't know her husband. I don't know the whole story. I just know what she's told me. But
Right.
they were married for years. And she's always been a bigger girl, even when they got married. But she got to a point where she was embarrassed
Mm.
to be naked in front of him, which meant she couldn't have sex with him.
Right.
So she felt like he was repulsed by her. So she just said, well, can't have sex with him until I lose this weight. Well, she just kept gaining. And
Oh,
they went 7 years without being intimate.
wow.
And how sad for both of them.
And he might not have given a crap. Like he might have not
Most men
seen,
don't.
yeah, like he might have not seen anything different, but it's how we view ourselves,
Yeah.
right?
And if you feel like shit and you feel like you're too big,
Yeah.
that's how you're gonna show up in life,
Yeah.
in your relationships, in your work life, in your
In
everywhere.
everything. In
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. And so it kind of floored me listening to her story because I'm like, wow, it's this time of year that all this stuff comes up, you know. And then even with patients all week, trying to prep them for Thanksgiving, we've got one more week, but trying to prep them and get them in the mindset of getting together to celebrate everything we're thankful for.
Right.
And it's like, no, I want to eat my way through.
Mm-hmm.
I want to eat all the stuff. And it's interesting because some of them talk about the food as though they are talking about a lover.
Really?
Yeah. Like the way they describe the food is
Wow.
as though they're describing someone that they want to be naked with. And I'm
Wow.
like, you need to have more sex. But I can't say that. It's like, you might let your wife know because it's like it's a replacement
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of things. Food is alcohol and all
Yeah.
shopping, all the stuff. It is a replacement
Yeah,
for a different experience. You want to create that feeling, and here's a
yeah,
way to do it.
for sure.
So it's been an interesting week. It's been a much better week in the sense that things are very calm in my house.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Regulation, emotional regulation is always a good
right.
thing.
So I feel some relief
Yeah.
and hopefulness. So that's exciting.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm seeing the same pattern.
So are you
Mhm.
in as in your work with people in weight loss, do you see this time of year and then January are
Oh,
the business times
this is
or
not the busiest time. This is the most emotional time.
oh,
Mhm. So this is not, I
interesting.
have more time, which is good because I have more time to talk to them
Right.
and really try to coach them through it.
Yeah.
Some of them cannot hear me. Some of them, they just want to wake up skinny and think that then they're going to show up in life.
Yeah.
But others are really dealing with some emotional baggage right now and
Yeah.
want to go, I don't know how to process this. And I'm going to my mom's and she tells me I'm fat and then she hands me a piece of pie. And which is so common.
Uh-huh. All that. You know,
Mhm.
and it is similar really to business actually, where a lot of times I'm working with a woman in her business
Mhm.
and she is not making very much money, but what she wants is like a huge jump. Like, you know, you go from $0 to I want to be the girl in 2 months that's going to make $50,000 in a
Yeah.
month, right? Like,
Yeah.
and what I notice is that for the women who do that, they haven't done the emotional work, the processing work, the mindset work
Mhm.
to get there. And it's really freaking hard for them to hold it.
Because they're telling a story that's contradicting what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have a
It's
belief.
so,
Those
mhm.
stories are fucking real. I mean, they're
Yeah,
not, but they feel real in our bodies.
absolutely. Well, everything we say is real to us, right?
Yeah.
And it's real to our body. So, you know, they can't hold that type of growth. They are because they haven't done the work to get there,
Yeah.
like the emotional, spiritual,
Yeah.
mental work to go with, right?
I finished becoming supernatural this week. Logan did too.
Oh,
Um, but he said something in there this week, and he said, whatever you think you are, you are.
true.
And I was like, wow, because
Mhm.
it is so true. If we feel like oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Imposter,
Oh, yeah.
then that's how we're going to show up.
Mhm.
And that we're not going to be confident in what we're saying. We're going to be going, oh, they don't think I'm real. They don't like what if we feel fat, if
Yeah.
we feel too thin, if we feel whatever.
Right.
That's how we show up. And then that's how we see everything because we get evidence of whatever we believe wherever we look.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's not, you know, when we talk about manifestation, we talk about like all the feeling things, right?
Mhm.
Like reach for a better feeling thought.
Yeah.
And I I so believe in that, but I love Oprah. I've been watching Oprah since I was like in my teens. And I went to watch her live one time, and the thing she said was, whatever follows I am is what you become.
Yep.
And it is these affirmations of like, I am fat, I am stupid, I am whatever it happens to be. We start to own that. So it's not just the feeling thought, but it's like the ownership of what we
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's so important, that internal talk track and that emotional soundtrack we've got going on in our bodies. And it's so important. And we sometimes it just becomes on autopilot.
And that goes back to Joe Dispenza talking about how we think, I don't know if it's 90%, 80 something percent of the same thoughts every day. So
Oh, yeah.
we get back in that loop. So we think the things all day long. We go to bed, we wake up, we get back into our routine because we're being mindless about it.
Yep.
And we're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And we start thinking the same thoughts, and it just gets bigger and more of who we are.
I think I read this quote just like freakishly the other day. Maybe you posted it, but it's something like, we think 90% of the thoughts we think today, we thought yesterday. Is that the quote, Joe
Yep.
Dispenza?
Yep. Yep.
And that is freakishly weird that I happen to remember that from a few days ago. I can't remember anything else, but it was one of the ones that I went, oh, this is so true. And also, this is why I need to do my journaling every day. This is why I need to do my reprogramming every day, because I don't want to think the things that I thought yesterday. I want to think the things of the person I'm going to be tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And we just need to reprogram ourselves. We just need to constantly reprogram ourselves every day so that we can choose what we think instead of being on this autopilot of crap.
Yeah. And asking if I was where I wanted to be, what would I be doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
And do that.
Yeah.
Like, let's say we woke up to our wildest dreams of our success in life, in relationships, in business, in whatever.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be sitting around thinking about stupid shit that doesn't matter. We wouldn't be criticizing people and worried about, oh, she said this and blah, blah, and all the bitching and moaning. We would be like, that's a waste of my time. Where do I want to go?
Choosing badass.
Choosing badass.
Choosing badass. But it's so true, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to deal with those petty thoughts.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to choose again.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to roll around in this pile of dog shit and rub it all over my face.
Yeah. No, not today.
I'm going to choose something different.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. So, I mean, we all have work to do. But it's these reminders that we can turn it around. We don't have to wait till January 1st.
Right.
And I'm not talking about weight. I'm talking about anything that's holding us back, anything that's keeping us from living our life and being badass.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I have seen that so often, like really in everything in business. I can't create a course until I have all of the pieces done.
Yes.
I can't launch a business until I have all of my website done. I can't become a weight loss mentor or coach until I've lost all of my weight and I've kept it off for a year and a half and 6 days. It's like we set ourselves up to have these ridiculous parameters before we start to decide to take action instead of just kicking ass right fucking now.
Mm-hmm. Because we get to kick ass in any arena.
Yeah.
At any time. We don't have to wait until, the stars need to align and all this stuff. We listen to the nudges.
Yeah.
Those breadcrumbs lead us to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And then we wake up one day and go, holy shit, look at where I'm sitting. Look at what I've done.
I used to be so focused on having everything perfect before, because I didn't want to look stupid, I guess, right? Like I
Yeah.
didn't want to
Oh, yeah.
openly fail. And I was really paralyzed by perfection, I would say.
Hmm.
And there's been so many things that I've learned, like just quotes that I've heard over the last probably 20 years that have really stuck with me. And one of the ones was perfection is not inspiring.
Yeah.
And as soon as I heard that, I'm just like, oh, right. Because if I'm perfect, no one else thinks that they could do what I do,
Right.
when that's complete bullshit
Mhm.
and no one is perfect. So it was like this release for me to just go, oh, okay. It's okay if I make a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Let's just like kick it in the guts and see what happens.
We all
Like,
do.
yeah,
Hmm.
like, let's just try it and see what happens and who cares?
But it's this illusion. And I don't remember the sit down talk that said you have to be perfect. But it's like somewhere we picked it up and we think everyone else is so perfect
Yeah,
and that we are so not. And then, oh, I can never do that. I can
exactly.
never be that because I have all of this baggage
Yeah.
and my life is not so perfect.
Yeah. But all of
Um,
the people that we think are perfect, all of the people that are kicking ass, they have the
they
same
have our
problem.
same stories.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
And we
But
hold ourselves back because we're in this comparisonitis.
yeah, yeah,
And when it's just all an illusion.
all
So
of it.
let's just have fun and be ourselves.
Yeah. And be badass.
So, yeah. Choose badass.
Choose badass. You have a choice.
I love it.
So, what about you? How was your week?
My week was an interesting one. I feel like I had this like huge epiphany,
Mhm.
and I am now launching a course, a new course, and it just like all came in, and I'm going to create a card deck for feng shui tips. I mean, like it just like it's so exciting. I can't wait. But all of these things just started to kind of happen, and it was this moment where I realized that some people that I had up on this pedestal of business coaches
Mhm.
actually make a lot of money, but aren't good humans. Like it was like
Mhm.
this huge, like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I placed these people on a pedestal, and now I realize, oh, no, no, no. I didn't need to put them there as better than me.
Oh,
I,
you don't
you
need to put
know,
anyone is better than you.
no. And it was this thing that was in the back of my mind, right? That I knew was BS,
Yeah.
but that I was just working through every day like you have to. Like it's just, random stuff that's rolling around in the back of my mind that I've made an agreement for when I was probably 5.
Yeah.
And it takes the time to reprogram that and to choose differently and almost to prove yourself wrong in
Yeah.
order to let that agreement go, right? And so this week it was like, oh, I proved it wrong. So it just feels like such freedom to me.
Hmm.
Like it's just been such a magical week. And then all of a sudden, when it's like you let go of some limiting belief that you've had your whole life, all of a sudden, like the universe is like, oh, thank God, you're finally getting it. Here, I'll give you
They're,
1,000 different ideas.
yeah, they're
Oh,
cheering
you did
for you. Like, okay, you can hear
cheering
this
for me. Like,
now.
holy shit, she's finally here. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
give you a whole bunch of things so that now you can see increased success.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's truly like. Like, it's like, and the work is really just letting go of things that held us back, right?
Absolutely. But don't you think that you keep getting more ideas because you're acting on the ones that you're getting, which leads to the
Yes.
next?
Yes.
And if you had shut down the first one and said, I don't have time for that, or I don't have whatever for that, or whatever excuse to not show up,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have gotten the other ones either
True.
because the universe is patient.
It's so true.
And sometimes I'll be like, not now. I'm
Yeah.
having my pity party. I'm going to be mad for a minute. Just be quiet. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, let me know
Yeah.
when you're ready because I got a
Exactly.
whole bunch of shit over here for you.
Exactly. Exactly. And it feels so good when all of a sudden it just, I don't know. It's like
Mhm.
a flick, like an aha moment, or like a switch is flicked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It gets to be a lot easier than this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God she's listening. Okay.
She's back.
She's back. Thank goodness. I know. But yeah, so it's been a really interesting week. It's been a really good week. It's been, yeah, like this just opening up this portal to magic. So I'm excited to see what happens.
I love the ideas when they start coming in because it's so funny how we can block ourselves. Like, oh my God, I've got to do this and I've got to do this and I've got to do this.
Yeah.
But fuck, I don't know how to do this. How am I going to put this together? What is it going to look like? And then you try to force it and
Yeah.
nothing comes out of it.
True.
And then when it's like this relaxation, and I guess I've learned it over the years. It's like, okay, this is what I want to do. Hey, I need this information. If
Mhm.
you could send it to me in some way, I'm
That'd be
listening.
great. Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes the nudge I get that leads me to get all the information that I need to go to the next step doesn't even really have to do with that. It's
Mm,
it's something that might will call this person or look on this website or go
right.
here, or even a patient coming into my office and sitting down and going, hey, I thought about you. There's something that, and acting on that
Yeah,
leads me to the road. And it's just being open
exactly.
because we don't know what's going to pop in our life today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's like one of my clients was looking for another job, and I'd talked about this a few months ago, and she was really distraught. Like she was very unhappy in her job. And we're talking and she's like, there's this job I want, but I'll apply tomorrow. And I'm like, do it today. Do it
Yeah.
today. And she did. She got an
And she
interview the
got it,
next.
didn't she?
Well, she got two offers because she did that
Right.
night, got the interview the next day, and then on her own, because of what I had told her the night before, she's like, well, Leigh would tell me to apply for this job too, so I better do it tonight. And then she got an interview with them, and before she had the interview with them, the first job gave her an offer, and she went on the interview and immediately got an offer from the second job, but that's the one she really wanted,
Oh,
and had two offers. And I'm like, when you woke up today, you did not know you were going to have two job offers.
yeah.
Like, stop walking around like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
You do not know what's going to show up today,
And things really can shift in a day,
in a day,
in a moment.
in a
Like
moment.
it's
It's a
just
moment.
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we need to be open to it. I was
Oh, absolutely.
one of the ladies in my current course.
Mhm.
We were talking about the law of attraction last week, and she's been wanting to sell her house. And she's just been so focusing on it has to be this way, it has to be this way, it has to be these people, and no one's looking at my house and no one's this. And I actually, in the course, I was talking about just like opening up to all possibilities, like just opening up to all possibilities in
Yeah.
all different ways and all different. And so she was watching that video, and as she was listening to the video, her realtor called for another showing.
Mhm.
And she commented below and she's like, oh my gosh, I was just closing myself off to any possible way except for this one way.
Yeah. And that's where we get lost,
Yeah.
is thinking that there's one way to where we're going and
Yeah.
one way for all the magic to show up. There's so many
Yeah.
ways.
Exactly. When we just open up to
Mhm.
other possibilities, it happens in the path of least resistance,
Yeah.
right?
Always.
Quickest, fastest path of least resistance. And if we have this like really rigid way of deciding how something's going to happen to us. It might still happen for us that way,
Yeah.
but the universe has to shift a lot to make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. And it might be a lot longer.
And it might be a lot longer because there's so much more work to do to
Yeah.
shift it. It's,
And
yeah.
that's why I hesitate to get too specific
Me too. And I know
on,
some people, I know it works for some people, like they say
yeah.
that it does, but I do not. I
Mhm.
just, yeah, open up to this or
When
something
I
better.
know what I want and I put it out there and I'm like, this is what I want. I want you to figure it out for me.
Ah, nice. Hmm.
And what shows up is always better.
Yeah.
It's like the universe says, oh, honey, like that's child's play. Like this is the real thing here.
Can be so much
Same
better.
thing, bigger scheme,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
love it. I love
So,
it.
but I think
I
we're out of
think,
time.
yeah, I think we're way past.
No, no, no. I think we're right.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. We're right on
So,
time.
yeah.
Okay.
So thank you,
Awesome.
Sandra. This has been a great Thursday. Glad we
Yeah.
got to wrap it
Mhm.
up together. Thank you guys for joining us for the happy half hour. We'll see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.